What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I thank you for taking the time again today for another edition. So we're going to get into the 3 cuts the Eagles made. I appreciate you guys tuning in, but if you have any questions, comments, do me a favor, try to get them in now. Going to try to make this a quick one. Voice is definitely still feeling it, but we're going to run through this. We're going to talk about the 3. Well, they were actually waived with injury settlement, all that great stuff. So 3 players are gone, roster down to 85. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to look at the positions that were affected and who is left competing at those positions. So appreciate each and every one of you. Let's get into this. Nina in the building. Love to see it. That's when you know something special is brewing here. So I appreciate you tuning in today, Nina. Hope you are doing well, you and the family. You know we've talked about these players that were cut. And look, these are positions that are pretty loaded with talent. And we just added another player yesterday with that trade. So we're going to talk about this here. But I appreciate you taking the time today, Nina. And my man Drew as well. Dude, you guys are always here, always showing some support. So I truly appreciate you. I apologize though. Today I'm definitely a little winded, but we're gonna truck through this. Sorry if I misspeak or anything, but dude, it feels like my brain is fried half the time. So let's get it rolling. Hey, not a problem at all. Hopefully you were able to catch what was going on there. Just talked about what happened in practice today, some of the injuries, some things that I felt. So appreciate you taking the time regardless. And all of you who took the time earlier, it was great talking to you, but back again. And as I said, we'd go through these moves, but there was nothing surprising probably going to happen. So Howie doing his thing, this all season, we've talked about how great he's done, all that, this, the other thing. Well, yesterday, I thought was pretty phenomenal that you were able to get more than a bag of rice for J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So as much as a missed pick it was by him, he was either going to choose he or Paris Campbell. That's, everybody passed on DK Metcalf. Everybody's licking their wounds on that one. But regardless of it, the fact that he was able to get somebody that is able to compete at a position where, hey, look, there's a lot of competition there, but we're going to find out who wants to make this team. And it's a guy that we added in, Amadi, or however you say it. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but we talked about his zone coverage, his ability to play that nickel corner, not just free safety. So his special teams ability, guys that we've talked about already on this roster, they have all those things. So you're adding guys with versatility. We're going to see who can make this roster, but it's not going to be these 3. I can tell you that. So with the waived injury settlement, Lance Lenoir will be gone. Jared Maiden, Jimmy Moreland. So a Cowboy, a Commander, and an Eagle walk into a bar. I'm sorry, that was horrible. But we trimmed the secondary down and the wide receivers. We talked about those were the most loaded on this Eagles roster. So we would probably attack there first. That way, the guys that are actually competing here will get some reps, and you allow those young men to go try to find themselves a job somewhere else. So we wish them the best of luck, but no longer Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe if they're, they don't find a new home, maybe they end up on the practice squad, but the initial cuts usually isn't a great sign for them. My man, Randy, what is going on, dude? Hey, man, I just try to give you guys as much content as they give us and then some. So appreciate you taking the time, my man. It was good talking to you earlier, and happy to see you back again. Now, with Lance Lenoir gone, we talked about how many damn wide receivers we have here, but I feel the Eagles could keep 6 here. I know Jalen Reagor, how he makes some people feel. But, because of the money situation, I think it's no brainer to keep him. Now, if you can find a trade candidate, I'm all aboard that train if you want to try to work something out. But, man, I think it would just be awesome if he panned out. Now, if that's going to happen, only time will tell. But we have a loaded wide receiving core right here. All these guys, we know the top 3, Devontae and AJ with Quez there. And then who are going to be the next guys? We've talked about, I think Zach Pascal to me is number 4. And then you got 5 Reagor and 6 Britton Covey. Now, Britton Covey had that thumb injury, but he was limited yesterday and back good to go today. So, hey, he's going to get his opportunities here in the joint practices and the preseason games to show that he deserves a roster spot. And the same could be said for all these guys trying to get a spot on this roster. Greg Ward, Mr. Dependable, is he going to be able to stick around another year? Only time will tell, but we've got a lot of competition still there. Even with Lance Lenoir going there, you see even guys like Hightower, Wheatfall, they'll be on the next of the chopping block, just to throw it out there. But Deion Kane has really been impressive. We've talked about him. So maybe he can, give you the, ability to be like, you know what, I'm going to keep him as a 6th receiver. Maybe we trade Jalen Reagor for Chuck Clark. Maybe you get Jesse Bates, whatever the Eagles want to do here, to not take on that massive cap hit if you were to just cut him. That's why it's not that simple. You're not taking on $8 million in dead money because the kid could pan out. You know what I mean? It's not like he's hindering the roster. It's like, just keep him on there as the 5th, 6th guy. Who cares? Just don't give him snaps if he sucks. But if he's good, hell yeah. If you can find a trade candidate, oh, hell yeah. So, and we talked about this. You guys know, you can go check out those older videos. We talk about the money. It's always very important. You save like $6 million in cap space. It's dead money, but when you trade him rather than cutting him. So that just seems to be the smarter move. Now, this secondary loaded, and we talked about adding Ugo Amadi yesterday. He adds depth at nickel corner and free safety, the special teamer, but we've got a lot of guys like that. So we're going to talk about that here, but strictly going to talk about cornerbacks first. I'm going to leave Amadi, whatever, with the safeties. So we're going to talk about the corners first. So don't think I'm leaving him out of here. But Jimmy Moreland, he was let go. When we talked about that ankle injury was going to be an issue for him, guys like Josh Joby, Josiah Scott, even Mario Goodrich, really showing out. Tay Gowan in camp, not bode well for Jimmy Moreland's chances to make this team. So I think, I like the kid. He's got great versatility, special teams, but I mean, it is, the writing was on the wall. If you can't make it, man, there it is. And, he's going to get a chance. Hopefully somewhere else. Best of luck to him. But this cornerback room, you got guys like Kerry Vincent, Mac McCain, who are of that same mold, that nickel cornerback that can play a little bit of free safety. We talked about yesterday with Ugo Amadi. So we'll see, who actually can make this squad. But for me, you guys saw my 53-man projection. Tay Gowan, Zach McPherson, I think have really been showing out. Josh Joby, I really think he makes his team. Mario Goodrich has been looking great. I don't know. Someone will probably pluck him. I doubt you could get him on the practice squad. But Josiah Scott, he's been playing a little bit of safety. He got some first-team reps with safety today. So you're looking at this roster, a lot of versatile guys. You love the top 3. Who wants to be the depth there? But this is what made Jimmy Moreland expendable. You've got guys, Josh Blackwell, even looking pretty damn good. So I think you've got a lot of depth there. I think the Eagles, when I did my 53-man projection, we had 6, I think I kept. So, look, man, it's going to be tough who they're going to cut, but a lot of talent there. Really excited about Josh Joby. I saw a lot of praise for him today, and you guys know I was talking about him when I was at camp there a couple weeks ago. So, really excited about a lot of this young youth on this team that is, stepping up because, some of these older guys become expendable. And look, man, I understand he's a name and people know who he is. And, oh, why did he get? It's like, look, dude, he got an ankle injury and these other kids are showing out. So probably not going to find himself a roster spot. So best of luck there, Jimmy. Now on to the safeties. Finish out this secondary. Jared Maiden let go. Really liked what he was able to do those couple games at the end of the year last year when he was brought up to the active roster. Really helped out on special teams. But he has now been let go because we talked about adding Ugo Amadi. He adds another safety to this room, and I already feel we're keeping 5 of these guys. And before for me, it was Harris, Epps, Kayvon, Sachere, and Jaquiski Tart. But Jaquiski Tart's been out with personal issues. Not sure how quickly he's going to be able to pick up this playbook and figure things out and prove that he belongs on this team because Reed Blankenship has been balling out. And Ugo is just now added, and he seems like the perfect fit for Jonathan Gannon. So a lot of competition there, so Tart doesn't just get to walk in here. I, again, feel that Sachere makes his team hands down because of that versatility he has. He's a special teams ace, but he can play nickel corner, free safety. And Kayvon Wallace, man, with those names I mentioned, if he doesn't step it up and really show out, he's very expendable, man. And look, I like the kid, and I don't think we should just give up on him yet, but man, it's going to be hard to, if Tart starts balling out, who are you going to keep around? So that's a good predicament to be in. I know a lot of people feel we're short at safety, but I really like Marcus Epps. I know he had a back injury today, but we're being precautious with everyone. You have the veteran in Anthony Harris. So I really think Sachere, and then may the best man win after that. But Tart, Kayvon, maybe Reed or Ugo can prove that they belong on this roster. But a good predicament to have here, but that's what made guys like Jared Maiden, Jimmy Moreland expendable in the secondary. So roster is now down to 85. Next week at this time, we will be talking about maybe 5 guys that have been cut, but just like this week, they cut 2 the other day. So however they come at us, we'll be talking about them, but the roster has to be down to 80 at this time next week. Oh, Lord. I cannot wait. Some excitement here. And you guys, again, already know who my 53 is. So, but things change as the weeks go by. So I will keep you up to date with who I feel is, still on this roster, who will not be. My man, ECG, what's going on, brother? Nice to see you. Just going through these roster moves, taking a look at what it means for the Eagles. And these are the positions we talked about, loaded with guys. So got to let them move on. Best of luck to them. Hey, better late than never, my man. Always appreciate you taking the time, whether it's a second, a minute, dude. I just appreciate you and your support, man. You've been a true friend since I've met you, so I truly appreciate that, my man. Covey, yeah, Randy, I'm a big believer in Covey. Got a little scared with that ligament damage to the thumb there, but hopefully, he was limited yesterday, back to full practice today. Looks like he's toughening out, and you love to see that from a little guy like him. That's how they make it, showing that toughness. I belong in the NFL. Give him that 6th roster spot. Then if Reagor starts sucking, he takes up those snaps. And that's not many snaps. Maybe he sees 10, 15 all effing year. I'm talking about in that return game. Put him back there and watch plays happen. That's what gets me excited. Go check out my guy, ECG. He's always doing college stuff. I know he knows who my man Britton Covey is. So exciting. The Eagles need a spark in the return game. We'll see if he can bring that in one of these next couple games here. That cornerback room is very exciting, man. A lot of young talent, a lot of guys we talked about pre-draft this year, last year. Tay Gowan, I was in love with him in the 6th or 7th round if we could get him, and we not. But we traded, obviously, Zach Ertz. He was part of that deal. So loved that. The Ertz move was already going to happen. We wanted to save the cap space. He was already going to be going. Loved to see it. Dude, a lot of competition there. Loved the Zach McPherson pick. So, dude, Josh Joby, you guys know how high I've been on him. So I just really feel that when you look at Josh Joby, you look at Tay Gowan and Zach McPherson, those three can learn from the three in front of them, Bradbury, Slay, and Maddox. That's pretty awesome. And then if the Eagles go after a corner in the 1st, maybe 2nd round next year, you've got yourself some very promising young men. So I'm very excited. Joby is consistent, and he has been consistent, this offseason. And that's what you want to see from these young guys. You take it all with a grain of salt. But something I talked about when we got Josh Joby as an undrafted kid was, I liked him in the 7th round because of his injuries. I felt he would drop in this draft. But going to Alabama, having that national championship, that pedigree, I really thought it was an exciting kid to take a stab at. Once we started moving those picks around, all those things, we talked about the fact that the Eagles already have a bunch of 6th and 7th round guys on this roster. So there was no real point. But you go after undrafted kids, you get Mario Goodrich, you get Josh Joby, you get Josh Blackwell. I liked all three of them. But Josh Joby is obviously the guy I talked about. And I just feel he's going to make the roster. Once I went there a couple weeks ago and was able to be at that closed practice and watch directly in front of me, he almost hit me half the time. It was pretty awesome. The kid's he's jacked. He's got the long arms that we talked about. That's one of the things that I thought would help him. You need those little things, man, just to prove you've got something. But he's going to help on special teams. And as much as I don't believe he's going to find too much success outside in the NFL, I really feel that he could help inside as one of those hybrid guys we've been talking about, a defensive back that can help you as a nickel back, as a free safety. So I really think Josh Joby's got a lot of promise, and it's somebody you don't want to waive because then somebody's going to put them on their roster. So I'm excited about the kid, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. Definitely been very consistent. But man, tell him again. Hey, man, I've been telling them. And since last year, I've been trying to get people ready, man, because I saw the amount of cap space and the picks we had, and I just try to map out what I would do and how we pretty much followed the same exact, so the popcorn is ready here. Anybody needs a bag, stop on by. The kernels are popping. Feeling it, dude. This is going to be a very exciting season. So let's go, my man. Bye. Look at the building. Appreciate you, dude. Would love to see Chuck Clark on this team. Yeah, you heard me throw that in there. Look, that was a trade we talked about a couple months ago. We talked about Jesse Bates. These are all still very possible. And when you look at this roster, you're trying to figure out how you want to go into this. You're talking to the coaches, Howie's got to figure out, hey, you want me to try to make this move? Do we need this money in case something happens? Mid-season, you want to be able to make a trade. You want to have that money to roll over because we're not going to have much cap space next year as it stands, but the cap will go up, the TV deals, all that great stuff. But there's so much you could do here, man. So that's a great place to be in, a good predicament to have. I appreciate you, my man. I'm definitely going to be resting well today. I feel like complete garbage, but I appreciate you, man. I am going to get rolling out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you, but those were the 3 moves made today. And training camp is over, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to be talking about joint practices. We'll be talking about preseason games. Oh, I can't wait. I've been really trying to map out how I want to do this weekly because I enjoyed how we did it last year. And you guys can let me know how you felt about that in the comments down here or however. But how I did it last year, where each week, on Tuesdays, we broke down the opponent. We looked at their roster, what they had going on, who the injuries were on Wednesdays. And then Thursday, we looked at like the standings as, each team, and I think it was very informative, but it is it's a lot of work. I don't mind. I really don't. This is what I enjoy doing in my free time, but I need to know what people really like. So I'm going to try to feel it out. And what I'm getting at is I think I'm going to take some practice runs here, just mess around with some things, during the preseason. So I might do some preseason breakdowns. I know that's ridiculous, but just so I can get some graphics together. You guys know how I roll. I always enjoy messing with the colors of the opponent of that week because not that I don't love our colors, but I use them every single time. So it's cool to always be able to dance with that stuff. So I'm going to mess with some things. And I would truly appreciate all of your feedback while I do those things. Let me know what kind of information you really like, because I like to break down the raw. I want to know every single thing about the opponent. And I'm going to, I think, pretty much do that same kind of schedule almost, but with a little bit more interactive, fun stuff. So stay tuned. We're going to be dabbling with that. Maybe not this week with the Browns, but maybe the Dolphins next week. We'll see, but definitely stay tuned. And I'll be back with any notes they allow us to have, or if my inside source is there, I'll let you know whatever they've told me for the day. My man, hey, it's not slacking, man. As long as you show up, and whether or not you show up tomorrow, the next day, whether it's quantum break, you show up 10 years in the past, I don't know. But whenever you show up, I appreciate you, dude. Doesn't matter. I know we all have lives. I don't expect all of you guys to be here every second I do this, but I do appreciate the hell out of you. Seriously, all of you guys, especially with what I've been going through. You know that when I first went through to even start this, this is how I got through it. So I can't do this stuff without you guys. I appreciate the hell out of you, my man. Take some popcorn. Get your popcorn. Yeah, he'll take a little extra butter, or we're going to get nice and sloppy all over him, dude. Get Randy in the tissues because things are about to get wet. Okay, now we're getting out of control for my South Park fans. All right, Samuel, my man. I hope you're doing well. Trying my best to bring all that energy I can to you guys. Still got my ass kicked. Throat still hurts, so I do all I can to save it for the end to go burn. It's like, I'm like dying afterwards. It's like, yeah, damn you. But hope you're doing well, my man. I almost made it to 20 minutes here. So I'm gonna get rolling out though. If anything crazy happens tonight, I will return. But if not, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be breaking down what's going down for the day, getting ready for these joint practices, all of that great stuff. But I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys and girls and everybody out there, dragons and whatever. You guys are awesome. I appreciate all of you. And that was not meant to be a dick. I just mean all of you. Appreciate you. One of these guys, UFL player, I'm pretty sure. Lance Lenoir, are you talking about? I do believe. Also a cowboy. My man Drew, let's go. Hey, dude, I will be back though. If you guys need anything, I appreciate you, but I don't know what else I forgot, but I'm sure there's something. As I said, my brain's just not functioning right. Everything's a blur with this effing that damn COVID. And this is what I talked about, and it was a mild case because the COVID isn't as much like kicking my ass. It is, but it's the fact that I have cirrhosis of the liver. It went right after my liver, so that's why I ended up in the ER, because that shit could kill me. So luckily it did not. But you guys are awesome, man. And I cannot thank you guys enough, but I just bear with me. This past week, I've been trying my best, but everything's just foggy and it's been tough. So I truly appreciate all of you guys. You're truly, you mean the world to me. You're awesome. But if you ever need anything, you want to talk birds, anything like that, I can help you. I believe, right? Because who were we talking about? Jimmy Moreland, Lance Lenoir, and Jared Maiden. Yeah, I believe that's who it was. But look, dude, I appreciate you. I appreciate Drew and JP and Nina and everybody that tunes in. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you. He has an extremely slick name rolls off. Yeah, he does, but he just got extremely rolled right off this roster. And that was something we expected to happen. But, he got brought in, added a little competition to the mix. But we knew the secondary and the receivers would probably be the first positions we'd go after because of the 12 plus. So you see there now, I'll just pop it up real quick. You want to pause it and look at them slowly because I know there's a lot of information there. But one last time, those are the wide receiver now that Lance Lenoir is gone. And now with Jimmy Moreland gone from the corners, you see the cornerback room. And then Jared Maiden released from the safety room. So there are our safeties with newly acquired Ugo Amadi, number 28, in case any of you guys missed that. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I got for you today. But I hope you're all enjoying your week. If you need anything, you want to talk birds, life, whatever it is, you know I'm always here for you guys. Appreciate the hell out of you. I'm actually going to go through right now and look through all my messages because I feel like being in the hospital, all that stuff, I probably missed so much stuff. You guys are awesome and you all reach out and stuff, though. So I can't thank you enough. I truly appreciate you. Got to call my brother, too. Got some great news for him. Let's go, Birds. Love to see it. Just rolled off this right. I'm sorry, dog. I'm rolling on like fumes here, dude. I really, and I try not to be a dick to these players because they are human beings, but sorry, man. But I truly appreciate all you guys. I'm heading out here. If you need anything, reach out to me. But I'm Jimmy Smith. This has been On the Road to Victory. Until next time, stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!